What up? What up, peoples? Are we live? I hope we live. What's going on to the peoples? What's up, y'all? Yeah, they don't be telling you. Who was that? King, what's that? Kind Sean, what up? You the first one in here, brother? Oh, there they go. Did they finally tell y'all? Bruce Jackson. What up? Who was that? Curly, Theo Washington, GJ Storm, Divinely. Oh man, y'all coming in fast now. Damn. Miss Cherry, what up? What was that? Uncle Phil, Jonathan, Oaktree. Who was that? Z Van. I'm trying to read y'all, man. Y'all coming in fast. Charlie Mack, what up? What's going on, y'all? See right here, y'all need to commit this to memory. When y'all walk up, y'all see a police officer walk up, this is the first thing you say to him. What's your name and badge number? Also, surety bond and insurance number. That's on a different shirt. This is just the just the badge number shirt. What up, y'all? Come on in here. Got a couple things to talk about. A few things have happened this week since the last we hollered. Oh, really quick, just to let you guys know, I'll be on Dr. G, House of Reawakening Minds, this Tuesday, I believe she said. So check that out, Tuesday, I believe 5 p.m. Eastern. 5 p.m. West Coast time, which was probably, 7 or 8 Eastern, so. If it's not that, check back with my channel. I'll let you know if the times change. But yeah, Tuesday. So check out Dr. G, House of Reawakening Minds on Tuesday, everybody. So what's up, y'all? Let's jump on in. It's a whole lot of crazy bullshit that's been going on and that's still going on. Oh yeah, make sure y'all check out Timmy Tight Top Weed Juice, weedjuice.com, OUIjuice.com. You know, the tightest top in the game. Check out the homie Timmy Tight Top on that weed juice, especially if you're trying to do a cleanse or some weight loss. Make sure y'all get at him. Those juices are off the chain. And don't you buy out. Who was that? Ivory. Thank you, Ivory. Appreciate you. Don't y'all buy out my surprisingly sweet. He been out of stock. And if you watched the show on Monday, Dom stole my damn drink, man. Dom, I know you. I'm looking at you, Dom. I let you off, man, but no, nigga, you don't grab my drink, Dom. I acted like it was all good, cause you my nigga. And your heart, you got a Lego valve for a heart. But nigga, don't you ever grab my damn surprisingly sweet. Ever. You know, I'm just fucking with you, Dom. But everybody, hit up Timmy Tight Top at weedjuice.com. And also, you know, Bill Sauce. If it ain't real, it ain't Bill. I'm on my last bottle of Schmuckatelli, Bill. I'll be hitting you up today, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I might have to cut down. I'm doing too much, man. I'm damn near drinking Bill Sauce at this point, man. I may have to cut down a little bit. It's too damn good, but we'll see. I'm gonna order another case today, though. Bill Sauce, that's BEALE sauce.com. Everybody get on over there and support the Melanated Brother Hot Sauce Company, because it's off the chain. Man. Had it on the barbecue chicken pizza the other day, man. Oh, man, that killed the game. the Schmuckatelli mixed with the barbecue sauce. Oh, man. It was, woo. Got to leave you alone at some point, Bill. I got to do my cleanse this year, man. So when I do my cleanse, I'm going to have to leave you alone. But until then, I'm riding with you. So, everybody, what's going on, man? We got something going on. So the Bilderberg, you see with the title, if you guys don't know, the Bilderberg meeting is being held. If you guys, you know who the Bilderbergs are. The Bilderberg group was, that's that elite. That's the people who call themselves the elite who get together. And this is the private meeting. So we talked about the WEF, or the World Economic Forum meeting. That's the public meeting. The private is the Bilderberg meeting. They've been holding since the 50s. That started with the royals. Royal family started this because, who was that? DeMarcus Oliver. Thank you, brother. Royal family started this because this is how they would get together to implement policies of how they wanted to run the world, for the next upcoming, whatever it was, the next few years or whatever. So then each year they see how those policies that they put out, they see how they went, then they tweak them here, expand on these, pull these out, if those didn't work, or implement different phases of the plan that had been, ongoing plan. So this is how they do in the Bilderberg. This is one of the ways your boy Alex Jones got pretty famous. What up, greeting? What up, Kimberly? Appreciate you. What's up, y'all? So this is one of the way Alex Jones got famous. He used to go to the Bilderberg meeting all the time. Just stand outside with a bullhorn. I see you. Every time a damn limousine would pass by with somebody in there. I see you, Henry Kissinger, in there. What are you doing here, man? And so he'd just be blazing them, just putting them on Front Street. And they thought these meetings were quiet and held in private. And they would see Alex Jones in there. Alex Jones there with a bullhorn every goddamn time. So these are the meetings where all the politicians, the corporate executives, royal people who, royal families or representatives of the royal families, they go to these meetings. And they're real too. Like your boy Shia LaBeouf, what's Shia LaBeouf? Shia LaBeouf, he, the Terminator, not Terminator, Transformers, the Transformer movies. So Shia LaBeouf, the cat who's been in the first few Transformer movies, he was doing a film somewhere where they was holding a Bilderberg meeting. So at the hotel, and during the break of the film, he went to the side. He didn't know this was happening. During the break of the film, he saw food being catered to a certain room, and so he decided to crash the room, and he went in there. And he had the table eating up on the buffet, and he turned around. And there's a big ass Bilderberg meeting going on behind him, and he was like, "Oh shit!" It's like all these super rich elite motherfuckers is behind him while this nigga's at the table stuffing his face with food, and they kicked his ass out of the Bilderberg meeting. But that's your boy Shia LaBeouf. But that shit happens. So the meeting happens, and so it happens every few years right now, and then they move it all over the place. It was first held in the Bilderberg Hotel, which is why it's called the Bilderberg meeting. Now, so just so you guys know, they held one in 2008 in Virginia. I think it was Virginia, and that was right before your boy Barack Obama was chosen to be president. This is right before the election. So this is where they choose what's going to go down. Bill Clinton was chosen to be president at the Bilderberg meeting right before he got elected. So they're holding another Bilderberg meeting right now. Right now. As we sitting here talking, right now. It's motherfuckers in Bilderberg, it's motherfuckers in Washington, D.C. sitting at a meeting like, what we about to do next? Oh, nigga, that shit sound great. Oh, yeah, nigga, I've been waiting to do that shit. Oh, yeah. They are chilling, waiting for their next orders on this new world order, or one world order, which is what you're actually starting to hear more of now in the mainstream, because a lot of Republicans aren't scared to say it now because they see that it's going against their better interest. Caucasians, these Caucasian Republicans or conservatives, this one world order is against their best interest, their better interest, because they're nationalists. Remember, I taught y'all about nationalism versus globalism, which is the new term for the one world order. Nationalism says, yo, let's do us first. Let's handle us. And whatever's left, we'll see if we can handle anybody else after we straight first. But nationalism says, yo, let's deal with our nation first and then go out and then, handle everybody else. Whereas globalism says, yo, we're all one whole. So, we need to make the whole rise in order, you can't just make one person rise. In order to make one person rise, the whole has to rise. So we're all dependent on, on each other's countries and each other's economies, and all that type of stuff. So that's globalism, right? And so it works against the conservatives who really need nationalism in order to strive and survive, because they're only able to flourish because their base is these super gun-toting redneck, Jesus, that's them cats. That's their base. America, America. I'm an American, man. I'm an American. You an American? I'm an American. So that's their base. And they need to ride with that. And globalism takes away from that, because it takes jobs, it takes the money, takes all these things and spreads it around the country, like free trade, which is basically our corporations outsourcing jobs, really, the industry to other countries, and then us importing other things into or the other countries' goods into our shit, but we don't really manufacture anything here, right? So free trade, that's globalism, but that fucks up your national system, because if we outsourcing everything, that means no one here. We don't build a foundational structure or infrastructure here for people's communities to build on. So that's why you see Detroit, the car companies, and all these, these companies used to go to these cities, and these cities are ripped apart, because of that happened back with Bill Clinton with the NAFTA, the North American Foreign Trade Agreement, right? So this is where they agreed to outsource American jobs and industry to the other countries, right? So just giving you a back, laying the foundation for understanding what Bilderbergs do. We talked about the World Economic Forum and how they implement those policies. Those policies that they're talking about in the World Economic Forum come from the Bilderberg Group. So y'all need to understand. There's a million videos. If you don't know about the Bilderberg Group, type it into Google. There's a million videos on the Bilderberg Group. But Klaus Schwab, who's the head of the WEF, the World Economic Forum, used to be the head of the action committee for the Bilderberg Group. So basically, he was the head of the Bilderberg. He was like the chairman of the Bilderberg Group and the World Economic Forum. So now you see, this nigga has been running shit the whole time. And who was his mentor? He mentions this dude all the time. His mentor, the guy who put him down and taught him, was Henry Kissinger, the big Illuminati cat. So if y'all know who Henry Kissinger is, go look up Henry Kissinger. German Illuminati is so that's who put him down. So Klaus Schwab, Bilderberg Group, World Economic Forum, they have a connection. Klaus Schwab, right? But also because all of those people who belong to the World Economic Forum also go to the Bilderberg Group. That's why this was held after the World Economic Forum meeting, so they could go from there. You see how you think all this shit is happening, just by coincidence? You got last week, we had the World Economic Forum being held in in Davos, Switzerland. You had the WHO holding their Pandisi treaty in Geneva, Switzerland, at the same time, just 400 miles away. And so we're gonna talk about that, because we talked about it last time, but there's more shit that came out about what they can do, and if the WHO takes over, what they can do. But all these things going over at the same time. Then you got these sacrifices. Let's call it what it is. You had these sacrifices that went on around the world, but basically in America, really just in America, in Buffalo, in Texas, and Sacramento, right? You had Mexicans, niggas, and Asians. All sacrificed. That's what it was. In those three shootings, the people who were sacrificed in those three massacres were Mexicans in Texas, niggas in Buffalo, Asians in California, in Sacramento. So no Caucasians being sacrificed during this thing going on. Now remember, we talked to you about the sacrifice and why they did that. They hold, whenever they want to implement something in the world, they believe, now this is not true, but they believe they have to do sacrifices for it. They, they have to offer up if they want something to come in. This is in line sort of with karmic law, karmic energy. I have to put out into the world what I want back, right? So their perverted understanding of spirituality and ritual is, if I want to power and endeavor, then I need to make some sacrifices for that. Usually your sacrifice is your hard-earned work, your energy that you put out, your time. That's the things that's usually sacrificed to make whatever manifest that you want to manifest. However, these niggas think we want it fast. We want it now. We want it boom, 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 right? So and it still does take time. Not that whatever they're doing makes it happen faster. They're just going to do it now, what they're trying to do, and then they offset their karma by doing charities and all that type of stuff, doing charitable events and all that type of stuff. And then the rituals to offset their karma, those type of things. But this week, they were, those sacrifices, and the main sacrifice, which happened in Texas, again, they took out 19 children. Again, what are another word for children? Kids, which are what? Baby goats. We talked about the goat, the goat symbolism. What is the goat? The goat is Moloch, right? Goat represents Moloch. The Moloch is the god of, kid sacrifices. But also, who does Moloch represent? Moloch represents Saturn. Saturn. That's what this, all that is about, Saturn energy. All right, so we're about to get back into Saturn a little bit. So what was Saturn? Hold on. So Saturn, planet of karma, right? Universal law, energy, right? Karmic energy, hard work, gain through hard work, through it's about steady, focused energy, and putting that hard work down and letting that energy come back and manifest. It doesn't happen fast. Karma is the true planet of putting the mash down first and then it coming back. So in their mind, so basically just put, the quickest version, energy out, energy back in. It's the planet of karma. So when they sacrifice things according to Saturn, it's karmic energy. They're, whatever they're ritualizing and they're whatever they're doing doing that shit to in the private parties after the meetings, the WEF meetings and the Bilderberg meetings, the private parties that they hold at 2 and 3 in the morning and shit, when they be when they got the secret damn basement, the secret cavern dungeon under the goddamn mansion and shit, where they do the hoodie shit, and then the eyes wide shut and that type of shit. That's when they're putting out the energy. Because sexual energy is also majorly powerful. That's why they combine it. That's why they combine sexual energy when they do these rituals. And with blood energy, sex and blood is very powerful energies. Your blood and sex, very powerful energies, is life producing things, right? So they want to give life. This is symbolic, because they want to give life to whatever their ideal is or whatever their endeavor is. So this is why they sacrifice life-bearing things, which is blood, which is sex. So this is the things that they do. So remember, Saturn, planet of sacrifice, planet of hard work, and right soon, the week after they hold the WEF meeting, boom, you got the major meeting, the Bilderberg meeting. Right after all the energy is laid out, the sacrifices are done, then boom, they hold their major. When the energy is already up there in the out there in the universe, then they hold their major meeting. So then, while that's going on, your boy, what's my man's name? I like to call him Damien. Y'all seen what was that? The Omen? Have any of y'all seen The Omen? Y'all go watch that movie, The Omen. The Omen was about these Satan worshipers, this Satan cult, who basically they ran the world. This is about what they call them, Satanists, but they weren't Satan, they was something else. But they was this cult who ran the world, and they infiltrated everywhere. government, corporations, all of these things. They infiltrated all that, and their whole plan was to get the Antichrist onto basically on the major stage as the leader of the world. So they bought this dude up. His name was Damien, and so basically he was the spawn of the devil. Basically, the devil had sex with this chick and spawned this little kid. It was Damien, and you could tell this nigga had like 666 and shit tattooed in his head and all that. And nigga grew up. He could make dogs kill people and shit. So this is in the 60s. I think this movie came out in the 60s. They tried to do a redo one in the 80s or 90s, I think. But Damien. So basically Damien was the spawn of Satan, who they were basically who was gonna come up in the ranks and infiltrate politics and move and get to the highest level in the world, which is the president of the United States. Now, everybody thought that was Obama. That Damien movie basically followed the life of Obama. Truly. Y'all go watch that movie and how they basically raised that nigga. Obama, it fits the whole characteristic of Damien, the devil child and all that shit. So that's why everybody was saying he was the Antichrist when he came up and he got the presidency because of that. Now, I don't know if y'all understand. Like, do y'all know Barack Obama's grandmother, who raised him? She was the vice president of the bank down there. She was the vice president of the bank, so she was already in the banking system. Now, I think Barack Obama just arbitrarily made it to president. Y'all crazy? This nigga, mama, his parents, his family was in banking. Vice president, like she was one of the main motherfuckers that ran the whole thing. So, but Damien, I said that to talk about Damien. That leads me to who's in charge of Canada right now. Trudeau. He is if you go watch the movie, Trudeau is the very version of Damien. Your boy Justin Trudeau is they pulled that nigga out of the movie and threw him right into Canada. And said, you do this. Now, if y'all don't know, Justin Trudeau is Klaus Schwab's #1 puppet. He was in the World Economic Forum's Young Global Shapers when he was like 17, 18. There's video of him when he was that age talking about it, going to join that shit. So that's your boy Justin Trudeau. Now, you see all the shit he been doing in Canada. He been mashing out with martial law in Canada ever since those truckers wanted to protest the cupcake, the mandated cupcakes, and he came out and tried to say that all the truckers were racist and all this and that, and all so that he could put all these mash out on them, go into their bank accounts. So people who made donations to the truckers, he went in their bank accounts and stopped and cut their money off. I mean, this nigga was doing crazy shit, like just martial law shit that you can't do in America because America is a freer country than any other country in the world. I was trying to tell y'all better take care of this shit because nobody else got a country like y'all's in the world. They can only do this shit because he in Canada. So he did that. Now, did y'all see what this nigga did this week? This nigga banned all handguns in Canada. All handguns are banned in Canada. What did they use to do? What hype did they use to do this? The shooting in America. What that got to do with Canada, nigga? No massacres happen in Canada like that at all. It just doesn't happen. Like, nigga, you can find that nowhere and anywhere in Canada, somebody going off and just shooting in Canada. It just does not happen. But remember, they gotta get these guns from you niggas because they're trying to force this one world government. And we told you about the one. Well, I'm about to get into that in a second. Why they're trying to take your guns. But they're trying to take your guns because revolution. If I'm trying to force something, if a government's trying to force implement or force laws on you, trying to implement forced laws on you, which are detrimental to the society or to to your republic, to your government, then you are by duty allowed to revolt. That's in the Constitution. That's why the Second Amendment is in there. Because if these niggas start mashing out and getting crazy, You like, hey, nigga, what you, what you, nigga, what? What, nigga? you must back your ass up on. Hey, back the fuck up. So, but in Canada, they want to implement. So they're really trying to put their Canada. I think is the experiment for the full mash down of control over a society who believed they were free. Canada is the mental experiment because Canada isn't as gangster as America. Canadians aren't as gangster as America. They ain't gonna ride off like that. You know, America, well, you see what happened. America go storm some shit. Not that they stormed the Capitol building. The Capitol building was open and they were led in there by security guards. You can't invade a goddamn Capitol building that's open to the public. They just that's the scam they put on your niggas. But y'all don't know that. But over in Canada, though, no, people ain't like that. They ain't gonna ride off and revolt against the government like that. That's not in their mentality. That revolution, though, is in America's mentality because we've done it. America has done that shit. And I say we, I mean them motherfuckers. Not we, but them motherfuckers, them Caucasian people who stole the goddamn country, who stole this land. Them niggas implemented revolution over here. So it's in their DNA to revolt when shit goes wrong. Hey, nigga, what you doing over there with my money, government? Hey, let me see, nigga. Hold your hands up, nigga. Let me count your fingers, nigga. You tripping. So that's the way it is in America. Revolt, nigga. Soon as Americans is pissed, hey, nigga, I ain't with this shit no more. But again, that starts with your freedom of speech. So, you know, what they're doing is eroding the Constitution that gives you all these freedoms in America in order to be able to sync you and link you up with this one world system that they got going. You'll never call for a new system if the one you're in already works. You heard the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they got to break it. So you'll ask for these niggas to fix it. That's how the shit go. But in Canada, so, you know, in Canada, that's the experiment. They just, you know, he goes out and he comes out, yeah, we're going to ban all handguns. Right after that, Biden comes out and said, yeah, we're going to ban all assault rifles. Now, that sounds great because Roderick Roche always hooking me up. Thank you, brother. Excuse me. So that sounds great, right? Excuse me, y'all. Ate some chicken before ate some fried chicken. But so that sounds great. Right, you know that banning assault rifles, you know, that sounds all good, and you know, because people getting shot up with rifles, or these mass shootings that happen. But y'all have to know that these mass shootings are not arbitrary. Excuse me, these mass shootings aren't arbitrary. You think none of this happened before, and then like right after the Columbine shit, then these things started to happen on a regular basis. This is psyop. These are psyops. You guys have to understand this type of shit. Now, allegedly, because we don't know. Allegedly, we have to use allegedly. But you know, MK Ultra and all that. There's a video that I think I can try to post it, but I'm telling you guys, you got to get on the Telegram channel. If you're not on Telegram, y'all fucking up. Get on the Telegram channel. Get on the conspiracy. So the channels. Get on the Telegram app. Excuse me. So get on the Telegram app and look up Real World News. I know you people say you can't find it, but I don't know how you can't find it. And my moderators, if you're in here, if I have any moderators in the chat, put the link in the chat. But it's Real World News, Conspiracy Hole. Those are the two top ones that you can get information from. Again, Real World News and The Conspiracy Hole. Maybe it's The Conspiracy Hole. So they be bringing it off in those two channels, but that's where the real information is. So it sounds so basically banning those weapons sounds good, right? Because people are getting taken out with these mass shootings. But there's a video that broke off how those this is a video in 1980 that broke off how those mass shootings, how MK Ultra had all these different subdivisions that they had planned to jump into, like conditioning college students, and I mean they were talking about being able to put their fingers psychologically in all these different divisions of the world, these different genres of the world. it was a whole lot of them too. So there was a lady who was involved in it with the government, and she was on a talk show in 1980. In 1980, this is an old clip that you won't see anywhere else, but they found that clip and put it on the Telegram and put it on Telegram. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all got to get over there. Who's that? Ant-Man. Thank you. So that's why I say you got to get over there to really get this information. But that MK Ultra, they were breaking that out. Now, the funny thing was, if you guys have watched Stranger Things recently, this is all kind of the same. This is all kind of come out. So MK Ultra, allegedly these shootings, this is how these things all happen at the same time. The Sandy, remember the Sandy the Sandy shooting, and also this one, they basically share the same thing. The dude who went out and did it, they shot their family member first before going out and committing these crimes, right? So they were saying that this is kind of a psychological marker when somebody's being conditioned. They do this type of thing. So right now, right after the shoot, so right after this happens, Biden says, let's take away all AR-15s. Let's ban all assault rifles. Not just AR-15s. He wants to ban all assault rifles. So the bill is being written up right now by the House. The ban on assault rifles. Now, again, they want to implement this type of government here. Everything that you see dictator-wise or, being a totalitarian government around the world, they want to implement those policies here, but they can't do it because your Constitution subverts them from doing that. It stops them from doing that. So they have to find other ways around it. Not subvert them, but it stops and prevents them from doing that. So they have to find subversive ways around the Constitution to be able to take your rights. One of these things is joining corporations in order to sign over your rights, which the sovereignty you have entrusted into the government. So they'll say, all right, well, we got the government. Basically, it's like you basically put all your sovereignty entrusted into the government is like a hedge fund. Right? So the government says, all right, well, shit, I got 400 million. I got 400 million sovereign checks. Let's put that down on, we're going to take these sovereign checks and put this on the private, on the private side of the game. Who was that? Dre 81. Hey, man, couldn't see. But we're going to take, appreciate you though. Thank you everybody who's hitting that super chat. So we're going to take your sovereign check. We're going to collectively take your sovereignty, now that we've entrusted us with this, and we're going to invest it into a private fund that you can't say nothing about. So that's what's going on with the United States as far as how they're subverting your rights through dealing with corporations who you've entrusted your not your rights, but your convenience to, because you like Twitter and Facebook and YouTube and all these things that you sign up. You have attached these motherfuckers are attached to you now. You can't even survive, most of y'all, if you don't got Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter or YouTube or any of those things. Y'all are dead if you don't have them. Like most people be trying. When Elon Musk said he was gonna buy Twitter, people were like, I'm disconnecting my account right now. Whoop de whoop. Your boy Talcum X. He was one of the ones that came out and said he was gonna disconnect his Twitter account. Next day, that nigga was right back on there, because you can't disconnect from this shit because you are too dependent on it, right? So they was like, great. We got you niggas life support. Your niggas life support, or these corporations are life support for you. All right, this is what we can do. Then we can control the corporations that that are supporting your your lives. We'll just take control of these corporations. So that's how they found their way around your shit. Now, again, you got to hold on to your gun. I'm not a gun person. Just let you know, I'm not a gun person. I don't necessarily believe in guns, even though, I was in ROTC for 4 years, went to Camp Pendleton twice a year, shot M16s and all kind of shit. As a young kid, had shot all that shit, just had to sign a waiver. If I got killed on the base, my mother couldn't sue. That's all she had to sign. She had to sign one of those, and if he got shot on the base, then he dies. But so I understand all of that. I understand all these. Understand weapons. I'm not a weapons person. I'm about hand-to-hand combat. That's what I'm about. I'm about, hey, yo, if you can't beat me hand-to-hand, then. However, I do understand there are times you may need weapons. There are odds that you may not be able to overcome. 1-on-5, things like that. Even still, I still believe 1-on-5. Need to get. You see 1-on-5, you don't ever engage. You need to get the fuck out of it. That's the smarter thing to do. If you 1-on-5, you get the fuck out. Why are you engaging in 1-on-5? I don't give a shit if you Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee would tell you, get the fuck out of there. He would tell you that. I promise you. Bruce Lee was about, yo, be smart. Do whatever the hell you need to do to win the fight, or don't fight. So I would say do that. But there are times when you need your guns. I understand y'all, the gang of y'all niggas who came up on guns. Y'all got guns, y'all all the time, whatever. However, at this point, because they're trying to take your guns away from you, I would say you need to keep them, because they understand, the population who's disarmed is an easier population to push into policies to change the system, where they were so dependent on in the first place. Because they know you ain't gonna go quietly when they really try to flip this system. So the people, the less guns there are, the less of you are to revolt. So, when you see all this going on right now, this is all parts of the plan that I'm trying to tell y'all. Part of the plan was this child sacrifice, allegedly, but also part of the plan was to get to drum up support to disarm you niggas with your guns. You are the main niggas in the world who they fear, implementing government policy on physically, because you can fight. You niggas can fight back. Y'all can you can fight back. So you got to keep that. Don't let these niggas mash out on y'all and take your guns, even though I'm against guns. I am against guns. Just so we clear. I'm about with these guns. I'm about those and elbows. I'm about these guns. However, if you need to if you come across some odds that you can't handle, I get it. Now, like I said, they're using the Texas shooter. They were using the Texas shooter to implement this. Now, it came out, I said last week that the Texas shooter, he had $5,000 worth of equipment. I was wrong. This nigga had $9,000 worth of equipment. $9,000. A nigga who just turned 18 that day. Where the hell he get $9,000 to buy that much equipment to go assault a school? And then it keeps coming out. The fishy shit just keeps coming out with the popo on how they didn't run in and how they got their kids out before the shit went down. All this shady shit is coming out. Allegedly. Always gotta do that. All this shady bullshit is coming out now. Showing that, they didn't plan this right. This was planned too fast, and it happened too quick. They didn't have all the control that they needed to have, and all of this shit is getting out now. So they're trying to find ways to cover all this bullshit up. But there is no way that this 18-year-old kid has a Ford F-150, damn near brand new, and $9,000 to go spend on motherfucking weapons and gear and tactical gear and all the bullets. So, man, y'all tell me where the hell he got that goddamn money. Then there was another shooting. Did y'all just hear it? There was another shooting yesterday, or the second, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What the fuck? This dude shot his doctor and he shot up a doctor's office. See, they're going to keep ramping this type of shit up because they know, just so y'all understand, coming towards this election in America, the Democrats know they about to lose this one. They done fucked up so bad. Joe Biden is cursing everybody out in the White House because they keep contradicting this nigga every time he say something. They go on the news and say, well, he didn't really mean that. What it meant was, and then they be like, so then they actually went and asked Biden. They said, hey, your staff, are you, because he kept saying that he was mad. So they asked him about him being mad about his staff correcting him all the time. And he said, yeah, boo, boo, boo. So then right after he said, yeah, he was mad at his staff correcting him, the staff came out again and said, well, he didn't really mean it like that. They came out and corrected the nigga again. So this nigga's in the shitter, right? So they know they getting ready to lose this next one. So they have to distract. They have to implement all the policies that, all the plans and trickery, that they always have been. So guns are one of their main things. They know that the left wants guns out of here, the right wants guns to stay. So, but if you go kill up a bunch of people right before you get ready to vote, that's going to be stuck in your head and in your heart to get rid of guns, and you will go vote against that once they implement that, or you will vote for the people who want to go get rid of guns, or you believe who they made you believe wants to get rid of guns, because if they really wanted to do it, they'd have been did the shit by now. They've had control of the government a few times in the past, completely. The Democrats, when they've had the everything, the presidency, the House, and the Senate. They've done that with Bill Clinton. They did that with Obama, and they got it right now. And they got it right now with Biden. So they can pass anything they want to pass. They just won't do it because they're all about the corporate bullshit too. They just want you to think that they're not. But that's what happened this week. So just so y'all are aware, all of these things are going on at the same time, and it's all about the distraction. Now, really quick, so while all that's going on, we talked about the gorilla pop, right? We talked about that last week and what that was about. They had worked on that in the Wu-Tang, and then did a mock, what they call a simulation of a terrorist, attack, a bio-terror attack with the gorilla pox. So they did this, and they said that it was supposed to start, the mock simulation, was supposed to start on May 15th, 2022. The WHO gets their first report of the gorilla pox in a report about gorilla pox. They got it from Europe, from a rave. Somebody had a rave in Europe on May 13th, 2022, 2 days before the simulation was supposed to happen, right? The mock simulation, the bioterror simulation, right? So, breaking some stuff down about the gorilla pox. Where did it come from? So it's basically a side effect when they were trying to come up with polio, with the polio cupcake, the crack scene. Gorilla pox is a side effect from giving monkeys that cupcake. And so, all these group of monkeys that they gave it to developed this, what they call monkeypox. They developed this. So literally it's a human creation from a crack scene that they tried to give monkeys. It's not something natural that developed in fucking nature. It's some shit that they've invented in a fucking lab. Right? So, allegedly, got to do that. So, now, what they're using it for, because if you've been following the reports of when you get the Boost Mobiles, when you be getting the cupcakes and the Boost Mobiles, it's been taking people's immune system down. So what they've been calling it is VADS, which stands for acquired immune deficiency, right? So basically, you're acquiring an immune deficiency from the cupcake is what's been going on, right? They call it VADS. So your people's immune system is being compromised, which are leading to other things that are rising up, like more people have been dying allegedly, but this is according to reports. Some have been, the cancer deaths have been up, just certain ailments, certain like what they call the name was called herpetitic. I think it has something to do with like herpes, but these type of diseases have been coming up. Things that deal with rashes and bumps, like things like what they call it? Hold on, what's the word? Shingles. So that's those shingles and stuff like that. They've been coming back. So what they were saying was that the gorilla pox is a cover for the VADS that people have been getting from the cupcake. Because what happened was, this is crazy. All of these things they look a lot like gorilla pox. So shingles specifically, and there's also something a cancerous type of pox. It's called like K-pox carcinoma or something like that. I can't. That's not the exact name, but it's very close. No, so don't quote me on the name, but it's something like that. K-pox carcinoma, and it's like it's a cancerous type of pox. And so these things also mimic and look like monkey. So what they're saying is when you go in now, just like you were going in and you were getting tested, and you may have had something else, but they were saying, oh, you got they were just calling anything that you had the row. They're going to do the same thing. If you go in and you have something, anything similar that the monkey resembles, they're going to say you have this and give you this new cupcake that they've already had made up for it. Now, where did the cupcake come from? The cupcake came from the Wu-Tang. They made the cupcake in the Wu-Tang. Guess what they made the cupcake? The cupcake is made out of the monkey with the roe. They combine that, the monkey and the monkey roe. So it's called the monkey roe, with the Henrietta Lacks gene, which they call the immortal, the HeLa cell, the HeLa gene, which is immortal. If y'all know about Henrietta Lacks had cells that just wouldn't die. They just kept producing and producing and producing forever, right? And they still using them cells today. And they took her cells and basically produced all of these different crack scenes from the sister. That's why you got all the crack scenes you got today in the world, is because this sister who they stole her genes and her cells that never died. So they took that, they took the monkey in the monkey row, mixed it with the sister gene, and that's the crack scene they got right now for the monkey, for the gorilla pop. So how they gonna do this? Do they have to force you to go get it? Absolutely not. They do not have to force you to go get it. What they can do, and it's something called this is by FIDA, the FD. Y'all know the initials. So FIDA is called the Boost Mobile Protocol Authorization Guidance. Right? This is something that they came with. It's called the Boost Mobile Protocol Authorization Guidance. And what it allows them to do is to alter the Boost Mobile as long as it still has something to do with the row. As long as it still involves the row in the cupcake, they can alter it any way they want. As long as when they test it and give it to 5 people and those 5 people survive. If they alter it, they alter the Boost Mobile, give it to 5 people, those 5 people live, they can give it to your ass without telling you they altered the shit. That's some bullshit. You tell me we ain't in some bullshit right now? You're already on some experimental shit. They can keep experimenting. They can keep experimenting with the shit and give it to your ass as long as they give it to 5 niggas first that don't die. And what does that mean? That don't mean if these niggas laid up in the goddamn bed like this and drooling, they still alive. Hey, they didn't die, did they? Hey, Your Honor, they did not die. They wasn't dead. He was, but he wasn't dead, Your Honor. He was not dead, was he? Shit. Get on out of here, nigga. I followed the law. You said 5 people who was dead. That's what they can do to you. That's what they can do to your ass right now. So, and this is how they push out the gorilla pop thing, which is all allegedly engineered, because they had a because they had a simulation. So the simulation, I said I had the wrong date on the simulation. I said it was March of 2022. It actually happened in like 2021, November or around the fall of 2021 is when they held the mock simulation. And the mock simulation said in May 15th of 2022 that this would be introduced, and a bunch of and they had an estimation of how many people would kick the bucket from this from 2022 to 2023, right? So they had a whole estimation. Now all of this stuff is all playing out like their simulation. How the fuck? Come on, man. None of this shit ever happened before, but now you're running mock simulations and all this and that type of shit. So that's right. That's right along. So that's part of the plan. Remember, you got this whole plan. They're hitting you from a gang of sides, right? So they're hitting you from the crack scene, the the cupcake side. They're hitting you from the disrupting your governments through turmoil, strife, and turmoil between parties, between genders, between races. All of these disrupts your society, where it makes it easier to transition your society if the foundation of it is uprooted. If you got people arguing on free speech, that should be something nobody is arguing on whatsoever. But the fact that they're able to introduce the idea that free speech may be harmful, may hurt you, when all you got to do is this, or get the fuck up and just walk the fuck away if somebody talking crazy to you. But no, that doesn't work. I need to be able to stop you from saying things that hurt me, because I'm not secure in myself and I don't know who I am. So I attach everything of what my self-worth to everything that you say. So if you say anything bad about me, I'm destroyed. So I have to control whatever it is you say. Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense to you? I need to control what you say because I'm so attached to what you say that whatever you say takes me down. It destroys my soul. Does that fucking make any goddamn sense? It's absolute bullshit. But if they can get you arguing on something as simple as that, as you not being able to just speak your mind, you not being able to say when you disagree with something, or that whenever you disagree with something that the government says is, you're anti this or you're anti that. Why can't I just disagree? Why can't I just disagree with what you said? That's not a thing no more. It's disagree or nothing. Or it's agree or nothing, excuse me. It's go along, you either go along or get along. Or to go along to get along. Shout out to Kwame Brown. So that's what they're able to do with the gorilla pox. So now when this thing really gets going and they kick it up and people get scared, and the funny thing is, it's not a respiratory disease. You can only get it by contact. And it's only being passed, according to the CDC, the cat, dog, cat, they said through homosexual sex, men with basically male homosexual sex. That's how it's being passed. So you do your own breakdown. But they can now implement and give you the new, and it's a Myrna craxine or cupcake, meaning it's the same type of technology as Moderneasy or PF Heiser. This is the monkey roll with the Gila, with the Henrietta Lacks. It's a Myrna cupcake. So they basically now just injecting you with the protein. With a gorilla, with a monkey roll protein. Y'all better understand, this is the way they have been. This is the whole new world thing that they got going right now. And did y'all know, really quick, that the head of Pfizer, the PF Heiser bakery, the dude, the CEO, the Kazar right now, did y'all know that he just became the CEO in 2019, right before the whole pandeezy happened? What a coincidence, huh? That this nigga becomes the CEO of the PF Heiser Bakery, the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world, right before a pandeezy hits, and then Under this nigga watch, they create a cupcake faster than anyone has done in the history of cupcakes. The fastest one before this one was it took 4 years. Now all of a sudden, 10 months. But that ain't no coincidence that this nigga, who's a part of the WEF, right now, he was there last week, right on stage with Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab giving him all the praise, saying, yo, nigga, the company was on the downswing before you got there. And you brought it back up. What he's like, man, he's like, what a good timing, huh? He tried to act like, oh, you took over right at the time a pandemic happened. Whenever we needed it, he's like, wow, what great timing. And that nigga had to back off, like, no. He's like, no. The other CEO, he was doing a great job before I come in. So it was a lot of the things that was happening. I just took it over. Like, nigga, nah, you planned all this shit. Fuck out of here, nigga. You planned all this shit. So. And then, just so y'all know, do y'all remember that this nigga, he has not taken the cupcake, his own cupcake. Or the people at the P.F. Heiser Bakery, they don't eat cupcakes. They vegan. Well, cupcakes are vegan, but they say they're health fanatics. They vegetarians. They only eat vegetables. They have not taken the cupcake. Did y'all know that? The people at the P.F. Heiser Bakery, they have not taken the cupcake. But your ass, you better take it. Me? Oh, me? Me? Oh, don't worry. Don't worry about me. But you? Oh, nigga, it's all good for you, nigga. Don't worry. Me, don't. I'm good, brother. I got a relationship with the Lord. My karma's good. I don't hurt anybody. So the likelihood of me catching it is really, really low. But you, who out there just fucking around and doing your fucking, boy, you got bad karma out there. You better take this goddamn cupcake. That's the fucking philosophy. They have forced billions of people to take this shit, and he has not taken it. This nigga said his reason for not taking it was we had to make sure that there was enough for the rest of the world to take. But they got billions of doses chilling in storage. But you needed it. Why you ain't taking it now? Everybody else got enough now. Why you ain't taking it? Again, it's just for you niggas. So, man, they are trying to implement some major fuckery. Then, after all of this, the excuse me, the WHO. Just so you know, we talked about the WHO, the Pandisi Treaty. Just so y'all know, the United States drafted that. The Pandisi Treaty, that's going to lock up all the countries, the 194 countries under the one rule. United States of America they drew that up. And then slid it over to the WHO and said, y'all need to look at this and try to implement this. Remember that we told you the biggest donors to the WHO is United States of America, Britain, and the Kill Bill and Melinda, right? So those are the biggest donors. So United States wrote up a plan, basically a one world order lockdown plan, and gave it to them, and then basically slid the power over to them to be able to implement this one world lockdown plan because America can't do it because you have a constitution. You see how they did this shit? One corporation signed an agreement with another corporation in order to turn over their operations, basically power of attorney, into this, and in the result of this event, then you can take over this part of the operations of the corporation. Now, what can these niggas do? Do you know that the leader of the WHO, the dude, I forgot his name, but the head of the WHO, is really America, but America tells him what to do. He can say, when there's a pandemic in your country, even if your country disagrees, even if your country disagrees with the assessment, he can be like, nah, I don't give a fuck what you say. It's a pandemic in your goddamn country. Lockdowns. Come lock them down right now. Or he can say, lock yourselves down. I don't care what you say. Our assessment, we've gone through the data, and we think that there's getting ready to be a pandeezy happening in your side, in your neck of the woods very soon. You need to go on lockdowns immediately. And then y'all say, nah, we ain't doing that. We feel fine over here. We don't see nobody tripping. We all good. Who was that? Mike Swagger. Thank you. Appreciate you. We all good. You know what they can do? They was like, oh, you don't agree? Okay, you don't agree? What they do, they go back and they tell everybody else in the world, in the W, in the WHO, they go back and tell all the other countries, oh, these niggas, they not following the policy. They're not following the policy. So then what they can do is one of the other countries' armies can then come over here and implement lockdown policy. Somebody's army like China. Yes, that's in the goddamn treaty. What they say is, they call it, they don't say that it's like a military. They say, we'll send representatives over there to make sure that you guys are following the lockdown policy. Nigga, no, that means military. Because if our government, or if our, not even our government, just if the people who, the government can't do anything without enforcers, right? So if the military and the popo say, we ain't doing it, we not smashing on our own people. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck what you say. We ain't doing that shit. Eat a dick, bitch. If they say that, then how they gonna implement those policies? They can't. They can't. Unless the WHO, this is why they're doing this. Y'all have to understand, this is why they're doing this. Because the test run was when they tried to lock us down before, all the military and the popo fought back. Most of them fought back against that shit. They were like, we ain't doing that shit, nigga. Fuck you. We ain't getting that. We ain't getting crack-scened up. We ain't getting no cupcakes. We don't know what's in that. Blah, blah, blah. They were gangstering off. They fought back hard. That was evaluated. Trust, that mentality, that data went to somebody and they said, oh, if we want to do this again, we can't count on domestic forces. So we have to rely on international forces to implement this lockdown. So this is why you get this treaty going in the WHO, because they know they can't count on the on home team to lock each other up. So they need to get the foreign actors in here for you niggas. So that's what that's going to allow them to do, which is absolutely insane. So really quick, the P.F. Heiser Bakery also, because they were talking about getting the crack scenes to all the different countries, right? To try to help these undeserving, these countries who don't have the infrastructures and all that to implement a massive campaign, a massive cupcake campaign. They were like, so we have to pick and choose who we can give this to, right? Now remember what the cupcake does. We done talked about all the side effects of the cupcake, that was in there that they hid. How many people then kicked the bucket from the cupcake? All of that. We talked about all of that, right? What the cupcake truly is, the dragon, it's really dragon spit. We talked about that. Y'all don't know about that? Go look up the video called Go look at the video I did called Dragon Spit. We talked about all that though, right? It's all of that, right? Basically, it's a bio, it's bio nunchucks. That's what it is. It's a bio sword to cut your ass up, right? So, they want to give it to. Guess who they want to give it to? They say there's 45 countries who really need it right now, right? But they said, well, we can't give it. All these other countries, they don't really have the power to do it. So we're going to focus on these 5. Guess what the 5 countries that they're focusing on giving the cupcake to? Rwanda, Uganda, Ghana, Senegal, and another African country. Oh, I forgot the other African. All African countries. The first 5 we're gonna give it to is all African countries. See what the fuck they're doing? We know 45 countries need it, but we're gonna give it to these 5. All niggas who can take over the world eventually. Excuse me. Oh, through the tone, thank you. So all these countries who can eventually take over the world and who's gonna outpopulate Us. We're going to give it to them first. Remember, we told you what this was. They said we can control the population through cupcakes. Your boy Kill Bill said that. We can get the population down through cupcakes. He said that shit. That is an absolute quote. And they would try to say, well, you're taking it out of context. He didn't really mean that. Nope. Go listen to the whole fucking thing. That's exactly what that nigga said. It was right in context. That nigga said, oh, we have this many, we have this, we have this amount of people in the world, and blah, blah, and we're projected to have this many people by this time in the future, but I think we can get that number down. Because he was talking about how many people were projected to be on the planet at a certain amount of time. He said, then I think we can get that number down through cupcakes. Yummy. We got chocolate cupcake. We got strawberry cupcake. We got mystery mix cupcake. We got marble fudge. We got tutti frutti. We got cinnamon. Y'all like cinnamon cupcake? Y'all don't like cinnamon cupcake? We got rocket roll. They got all the cupcakes you want. But that's how they're trying to implement through the cupcake. The P.F. Heiser Bakery. So then that's that's the country. So that's their other plan to try to take out the melanated countries. Because remember, this is about population. So they have to take how they get into the melanated countries. You niggas are going to take it first. And the president of Rwanda, he is tripping. He is really trying to mash out and put this down in Rwanda. This nigga going crazy. He is absolutely linked up with him. He is for sure the coonerific the coonerific leader. But so they're really trying to put it down. So people in Africa, please watch out. They're going to do it in the guise of altruism. We're trying to help the third world countries or the underdeveloped countries who don't have the power and infrastructure to be able to implement this. We're going to save you. We're going to come in and save you and give you this shit. Nigga. And then he goes, they're free. They don't even have to pay for them. They're free. Nigga, what the fuck? You a corporation. When that shit ever been free? Ain't nothing free. Meaning he meant we already got paid. Pockets is fat, my nigga. So y'all can have as many as y'all want. Pockets fat. So watch out, African countries, Rwanda, Uganda, Ghana, Senegal. What was the other one? Oh man. I cannot remember the other. I'm sorry for the other country because they coming for you niggas too, but I can't remember. But then, on the other note, here's another part of the plan. So on November 12th, so y'all, we've been having food shortages, right? So, and I talked about how just this year alone, they've already had food processing plants burned down. So in all of last year, in 2021, only 6 food processing plants had burned down, right? Which is still an unusual number just to be burning down. But in this year, this is a month ago. I haven't checked since then, but a month ago, up until this point, there had been 16 farms or food processing centers that have been burned down or blown up or destroyed or some shit, right? No coincidence. Now, we're talking about then they want to blame, they're saying we have a food shortage, but then they're trying to blame the food shortage on what's going on over in Ukraine, right? Yo, y'all hit that damn like button. There's 800 of y'all in here, only got 400 likes. Y'all hit that bullshit. Hit that goddamn like button. Y'all know what the algorithm do. Hit that shit right now, goddammit, right now. I'm gonna cut this shit off. I'll cut it. Hey, nigga, I'll cut this shit off right now. No, I'm just playing. But so on November, so we're talking about the food shortage. So on November 12th, 2015, now, they like to have, before y'all, just so y'all know, before they do anything, they always do mock runs, these simulations to see how they would work out. They always got it. It basically is a business plan. That's all it is. It's a business plan for how they want to do shit. That's what a mock simulation or a mock run is, right? So on November 12th, 2015, policymakers, academics, business people, and thought leaders gathered at the World Wildlife Fund headquarters in Washington, D.C., and they ran a simulation game on how the world would respond to a future food crisis. In 2015, they ran a simulation on how the world would respond to a future food crisis, or future. Shout out to Timmy Tight Top. A future food crisis. Ain't that some shit? So 2015, they did this 7 years ago. 7 years ago. Now, the crisis began. Now, the simulation, guess where the crisis started? The food shortage crisis started in Pakistan and Ukraine. This is 7 years ago, though, y'all. 7 years ago. The simulation, the beginning, the whole breakdown, the reason why there was a food shortage in the world was because, and the reason y'all don't know, because these food, a lot of wheat and stuff come out of Russia and Ukraine and all these different places. So they were saying that the food shortages started over there first. In Pakistan and Ukraine. Right now, what's going on? There's a war in Ukraine, and they're trying to say there's a food shortage because of that shit. Y'all think this is this should just be happening? No, they be planning this shit. They plan this shit years before they implement this shit. Just like there's going to be, I definitely believe, I don't want to put this out there in the universe, but I definitely believe they're going to try to do a power, what they call a cyber attack to shut down the power, because they did that in New York a few years ago, which is usually a dry run. If y'all don't remember, they shut that power grid down on the East Coast, and it shut down New York. New York had no power for it. People was walking across the bridge and all that shit. Go pull up the YouTube video of that. That's some real shit. So now this plan that they had in 2012 was to see if they can do how the world, not America, how the world would respond to a food crisis. Now, the simulation was supposed to take place. They were taking the data from, this is now, remember, this is 2015. 2015 that they did this. The simulation was supposed to run, the data run from 2020 to 2030. Come on, y'all. They can't hide none of this shit. They can't make up none of this shit. The simulation was supposed to run from 2020 to 2030. How long have we been running out of food? Since then. Since the implementation of this whole goddamn, they knew this was coming, man. They knew this bullshit was coming. Come on. Y'all please get in the game and start understanding. Then, while they're doing that, when they plan to do that, did y'all know that farmers right now, farmers are being paid 1.5 times the value of their crops to burn them? That's absolutely what the fuck I said. Farmers in America right now, there's video of farmers showing themselves burning and destroying their crops. They either burn them, or if you destroy them, if you can destroy it without creating a carbon footprint, they give you more money. So people who are taking down their crops with lawnmowers are getting more money for cutting it down with lawnmowers. This nigga showed himself cutting his whole farm down. He showed the letter from the USDA that said, yo, and this is the funny thing, or the fucked up thing, they have to do it, or their subsidies get taken away. You know, because the government gives farmers subsidies not to produce shit. Did y'all know that? The government will say, hey, we'll give you $300,000 not to make this fruit, or not to make this crop, or whatever the fuck it is. They do that. So the government went in and said, yo, we gonna give you 1.5 times, at least minimum 1.5 times the value of your crop to destroy it. If you destroy it with a lawnmower or a way that it doesn't create a carbon footprint, you get more money. But if you don't, we taking the subsidies away, nigga. We taking your money. So not only will you not get the money for your crop, they're going to take your subsidies away, which would destroy the farmers, which would destroy those farmers' farms. So this is what's happening. The actual American government is paying farmers to create a food crisis, niggas. This is real shit. These farmers are making videos and putting this shit out, allegedly. They gotta do that. They're putting it. So this one dude, also they're paying cats to dump oil, to increase the oil. What did the dude break? What did he say? He said, hold on, let me get this down right. He said that to stabilize the oil prices, the Department of Hydrocarbons. So this nigga got a letter from, he got a meeting and a letter from, call from the Department of Hydrocarbons, and he got a letter because he showed the letter. So he got a meeting. He got hit up from the Department of Hydrocarbons. Said to stabilize oil prices. Excuse me, to stabilize the oil prices. Hold on, my thing is running out. So to stabilize oil prices, that he has to dump fuel and basically dump it wherever you can. Basically like creating toxic dump sites. They said they're paying this nigga to dump fuel. The Department of Hydrocarbons is paying this man to dump fuel, and he showed himself just dumping oil onto a goddamn farm. He was just released. I'm like, what the fuck? He is just dumping oil on the fucking farm and said, and he said, I have to do this, or the government is gonna fuck me. So y'all wondering why gas is fucking $7.77 in California, or $5 a minimum? Or you wondering why we having a food crisis and all this? The government is creating this shit. They're trying to put the squeeze on you niggas. Again, they have to do this because you have to call for a change in government. Again, if you are happy and you chilling, you will never call for any type of change, will you? Nothing. No, not at all, ever, nigga. No comfortable nigga ever called to not be comfortable. That ain't never happened. Nigga ain't never been like, yeah. They put his hand in his motherfucker, yeah, nigga. Yeah. Yep. Waiting on that call to get up there and tell me to go mow that lawn. You know, cause nigga, I hate being on this couch chilling. Baby, bring me another beer. Oh yeah. This Martin Lawrence shit is funny as hell. Hey, did the government call yet? Oh no. Ain't no nigga ever been chilling, waiting for a call not to be comfortable. When have you ever fucking known that shit? It has never ever fucking happened. So you niggas, they have to change your government. Oh, Rainstorm, thank you. They have to change your government in order for you to, they have to destroy your government in order for you to call for a change. That's how it has to go. So destroying everything from all sides, taking down Roe versus Wade. You think that was a goddamn, you think that was an accident? That they told you Roe versus Wade was getting taken down way before they did it? Y'all think that was an accident? That you ain't gonna have freedom of choice no more? But it's funny, you know, they talk about my body, my choice, unless it's a woman who wanted to get abortion. But again, that's all between the woman and, you know, women. That's all between you and the universe. But so this is how they're doing shit. They have to destroy America in order for us to call for a new America. And I've been telling y'all to watch for it. It started basically, well, not started, but it really ramped up with the freedom of speech and Twitter. If y'all don't know, Alex Jones just broke down how Twitter, I said this before, Twitter was a CIA op. I'd never heard this nigga say that, but he broke it down the other day too. He was like, see, this Twitter is run by CIA and the intelligence agencies of Europe. That's why it's so hard for this nigga to get Twitter right now. If y'all been keeping up the game, Man, it's called kind of advocacy groups, all kind of shit coming out to try to stop this nigga. They call for a grand jury for this nigga. He has to go in front of Congress to testify why he want to buy Twitter. Not only that, he has to testify about Tesla. This nigga, I mean, they are trying to mash out for this nigga to not buy Twitter. Why? Why is little old motherfucking Twitter, who ain't worth nothing, who barely makes any money? Why are they tripping about that one little bitty ass company? Because it's the goddamn CIA stronghold. It's the CIA hold where they control speech. That is literally the stronghold, the hub, the very center of where they control speech around the world. And this nigga Elon came in and said, "Oh, nigga, let me buy that." And they was like, "Oh shit." And they can't really do anything to this, but they're trying to do it. You see, they took that nigga off the stock market. They took this nigga off the ESG, which is basically all the companies who are eco-friendly and who have the best eco ratings. They get put on this list on the stock market. They took his company off of that list and put on somebody like General Motors or some shit. Now Elon Musk, who's literally done more for with Tesla, he's done more for the climate change in the world than anybody's ever done in the world, just with that one car. They took this nigga off the eco stock exchange thing. Obviously, they're trying to fuck him. But why are they trying to do that? Because this nigga wants to buy Twitter, which they were trying to use to control your speech. It ain't about him. It's about speech, y'all. And it's about just your freedoms, and that just begins with your speech. So I'm trying to get y'all niggas on this shit. You got to learn law and government, y'all. Y'all have to learn, or you will not be able to keep your goddamn country. It will change, and don't be pissed off when the shit start, when motherfucking you see niggas rolling up your damn city in fucking military gear and all the rest of that shit, and all your whole shit is changing, and you don't know what the fuck is going on, but you had the time to sit down and learn law and government and what gives you your freedom, what protects your freedom, not gives you your freedom, what protects your freedom, because they can't give you anything. The universe gives you, come here, you're a god, you come here with everything that you need, but we create systems in order to protect our godness, and that's what the Constitution is. And if you don't motherfucking protect that shit, and the country that document runs, or that upholds, y'all niggas is gone. Y'all niggas is dead. Let me tell y'all. I want to tell y'all a little story. Let me tell you a little story. Cause y'all, a lot of y'all, I get from y'all, nigga, that law shit don't work, nigga. It ain't never gonna work. No matter what you talk about, nigga, they gonna always change the law. Law don't work for nobody. Boop, boop, bop, bop, blah, blah. Y'all don't fucking understand. I be trying to tell y'all, like, I'm trying to tell people about the law. I say this all the time. It's trying to like tell somebody who grew up in the desert, who grew up in the desert, nothing but sand dunes, he's like 50 years old. And he's never seen anything in the world but sand. Nothing but sand dunes, hills, nothing but that. And then you walk up to that nigga and say, "Hey, my nigga, did you hear about this place called Hawaii?" You like, "Hawaii? What the fuck is that?" "Oh, nigga, Hawaii? You ain't heard about Hawaii, nigga? Hawaii got motherfucking crazy ass trees and crazy animals, nigga. It got waterfalls, nigga. It got ponds and lakes, nigga. Oceans right off the motherfucking. You ain't never seen that shit, nigga. You ain't never seen." He'd be like, "Get the fuck out of here. Ain't no place with no goddamn." He would never believe you. They would never believe you in a million years. Why? Because in their environment, they have only seen nothing but sand dunes, sand, crabs, and snakes, and all of that shit that comes with the desert. That's all they've ever seen. But there is a place called Hawaii. That's a paradise with waterfalls and lakes and oceans and all kind of shit. That's absolutely amazing. If you have never been to Hawaii, I suggest y'all niggas go, because it's absolutely incredible. But trying to tell that to somebody who grew up in the desert, they would never believe you. No matter how much, no matter what you did, unless you took them there. They would have to actually go there and experience it in order for them to be able to understand how beautiful and how different, or not even different, but just how other things that they don't know about actually exist and do work. Just because you don't understand it or you don't know about it doesn't mean it doesn't exist or it doesn't work. So that's the analogy I like to use, because trying to teach y'all or trying to tell y'all the law, I can tell y'all about the law all day, but to try to really tell y'all got to learn, because less than 1% of the world knows the law. Did y'all know that? Less than 1% of the world knows the law. If you do learn the law, you'll be part of that little bitty less than 1% who knows how everything is run. That is super powerful, y'all. That is crazy powerful way and crazy. It is a way for you to take advantage of whatever system you're in. I'm talking to everybody around the world. This is anybody, whatever system you're in, every system is run by laws. So you need to learn that system in order for you to be able to flourish and take advantage. But I'm about to tell y'all about the case of Lopez Soto. My man Lopez Soto. So Lopez Soto, I mean, y'all don't know. So Lopez Soto in the Know Your Rights Foundation, he's our patron saint. Johnny Cochran, really, but it's really Lopez Soto. He's right up there. The reason Lopez Soto, we jokingly say that, but the reason we talk about Lopez Soto, because Lopez Soto is a legend out here in these streets. Y'all want to know about Lopez Soto? Y'all want to know? I'm about to tell you about Lopez Soto. So Lopez Soto was a brother, Mexican. He's a Hispanic brother. And he was traveling from Baja, California, Mexico. Baja is Mexico and California. So he was traveling. This is around 2000, year 2000. He was traveling. And Popo saw it. Rolling on the street. This is at nighttime. So he's rolling. Popo see him. And the law in California, or the police officer, he believed, you're supposed to have your registration displayed on the rear of your car, so it can be shown, right? So Popo, he don't see registration. He pulls Lopez Soto over, right? Lopez Soto said, "Oh, my registration is in the window." He points to the rear windshield, the rear window, and he says it's in the window right there, right? So the police officer, he couldn't see it. He said he also couldn't see it from the back because the writing was so light that he couldn't see it. So in order to see it better, to get a better look at it, the police officer, he leaned in the car to grab it off the window, right? He leaned to grab it off the window. And when he leaned in the car to grab it off the window, this nigga smelled weed. He was like, oh shit. And then he looked down and he saw some foil coming up from under the mat. Then he lifted that shit and it was packed with weed. Weed was packed. So this nigga was like, oh shit, he searched the car. He searched the whole car, popped the trunk. Guess how much weed this nigga found? Y'all wouldn't believe. The police officer, Lopez Soto, this is the perpetrator. The police officer, Lopez Soto was transporting, the police officer found this nigga was transporting 900 pounds of weed. 900 pounds of weed. That's half a ton. Just so y'all know, 2,000 pounds equal a ton. So 1,000 pounds is half a ton. This nigga was transporting half a ton of weed. Y'all, I know y'all don't know how that. If y'all ain't never been a vegetable seller, a vegetable salesman on the street, a vegetable salesman, y'all wouldn't know what that is. But people who know, almost 1,000 pounds of motherfucking weed. So they take this nigga to jail, right? So come to find out, when he goes to jail, come to find out that the law didn't state that he had to have registration displayed on the back. It actually said that it was supposed to be displayed on the windshield, on the right side of the windshield. So when the police officer pulled him over, because he thought he got taught that in the academy, because he was a newer police officer, he got taught that in the academy. He thought that he was supposed to have it displayed on the back, the windshield or the back of the window, and he wasn't. So he pulled him over. So when he goes to court, they forced him basically to take a deal, to plead guilty, right? But he basically pled guilty while still stating, I want to reserve my right to protest the search based off of a Fourth Amendment violation. Basically, he said it was an unlawful search because once he found out that the law stated that he had to have his registration, that he didn't have to have his registration on the back, that he had to have it on the windshield, he said the police officer basically pulled me over without reasonable suspicion. And just so y'all know, police officer can't pull you over for no reason. They have to have a reason to pull you over. So the police officer's reason was because he didn't have his registration displayed in the back. But that wasn't a real law. So the police officer had no lawful reason to be able to pull him over. So, like I said, Lopez Soto, he pled guilty in the lower court, but he reserved his right in order to appeal the Fourth Amendment violation of an unlawful search, right? So he did that. When it gets to the appeals court, the district court in California, the district court said, oh, he right. So just so you guys know, so I'm about to talk about what that is. There's a doctrine called the exclusionary rule in law, or it's called fruit of the poisonous tree. And what that means is, if you are pulled over by a police officer, or if you're stopped by a police officer, and you are stopped unlawfully by that police officer, and they find something illegal on you, and they take you to jail for it, that evidence can be thrown out because the police officer didn't have a lawful right to stop you in the first place. That's called the exclusionary rule. He basically sued under that rule, and the district court was like, oh, this nigga right. Y'all didn't have a reason to pull this. Y'all didn't have a reason to pull him over in the first place. Let him go. That case is thrown out, even though there's something called good faith, right? An officer can make a mistake in good faith, but they also can't misinterpret the law. So that's a very important thing. And also in this case, it says the police officers they're supposed to know the law that they enforce. So even if he made the mistake in good faith, it's supposed to be a reasonable mistake. This nigga made a huge mistake. And so they let Lopez Soto go and caught that nigga with 1,000 pounds of weed. And Lopez Soto is on the street right now. So for all you niggas keep talking about, oh nigga, that law don't work. Law ain't gonna do. Yeah, nigga, go talk to Lopez Soto, nigga. That's all I got to say. Go talk your ass to Lopez Soto. Shout out to Lopez Soto, but go talk your ass to Lopez Soto, who got off transporting 1,000 pounds of weed damn near in California and got off because the police officer pulled this nigga over unlawfully. Now stick that in your goddamn tank. So all you niggas talking about you don't need to learn the law, you better get your ass, you better get like Lopez Soto right here. Y'all know the deal. Constitutional rights card tells the police officers what your rights are at the police stop and what will happen if they violate those constitutional rights. That's on the back. That's what it tells them on the back. And then, just so you know, they get qualified immunity. We just talked about good faith. So police officers get they get qualified immunity while it's called performing their duty in good faith. But it has to be reasonably, right? It has to be a reasonable fuck up. If it's meaning it's just a slight mess up. If it's some stuff that they should have known, a law that they should have known to be enforcing, they won't get it, right? So they'll lose that qualified immunity. Also, if you alert them before they do it on camera that they're in violation of violating your constitutional rights, because the police officer was trying to get qualified immunity, right? And that's what. So basically, if y'all understand, when Lopez Soto appealed the case, the police officers will say, "Yo, I want summary judgment." That means I want the court to judge without a trial based on summary judgment, meaning off of the facts that you have. Basically, I'm suing under qualified immunity. And the court was like, nah, nigga, you don't get qualified immunity. Nope. Nope, you violated this nigga's constitutional rights. You shouldn't have pulled him over. No matter if this nigga had 8,000 pounds of weed, he would still get off because you shouldn't have pulled him over in the first place. So Lopez Soto. So again, if you alert the officer they're in danger of violating your constitutional rights and you do it on camera and they knowingly violate your rights, they lose that qualified immunity. That's what this card says right here. And this case right here, it shows them how they lose that qualified immunity. And yes, the case of Lopez Soto is on this document. It's right there. Lopez Soto is right there, number 4, just so y'all know. It's right there, baby. So shout out to Lopez Soto, but this right here has the court cases that tells them that they lose that qualified immunity. And right there, big one, Lopez Soto. But right at the bottom is a major one. This is Owens versus City of Independence. And right there, that says a municipality, which means a city, has no immunity from liability under civil lawsuit flowing from its constitutional violations and may not assert the good faith of its officers as a defense to such liability. It says that right there. They can't violate your rights and say, oh, it was good faith. Right there, baby. That's Supreme Court. Boop. So y'all can take a snapshot and look at it. So that's that right there. Then you already know this is the full book right here. This has everything that you should know at traffic stops and foot stops or Terry stops, which are police stops on foot. So right here, this has all your rights you want to know. It has everything in here, all the questions, the basic stops, the basic things that they stop you or pull you over for that violate your constitutional rights. All of that is in here. You need to get this and study. I'm raising 1 million Johnny Cochrans, goddammit. Y'all better get on board before we do it. And don't be trying to jump on the bandwagon after we get him. Like, hey, man, don't leave me. Don't leave me. Hey, nigga, we don't, hey. Don't, oh, shit, I don't see you, my nigga. Don't let us leave you. Get this shit, right? Get on there. Then if they keep on pushing and violate your constitutional rights, you know what we go after. That public official bond. That's the insurance. Oh, who was that? Conrad, appreciate you. It's that public official bond. We put a lien, we place a claim on that bond, stating that you violated our constitutional rights because that bond is tied to their oath to the Constitution. That's why it's under oaths and bonds. So anytime they violate the Constitution, they lose that bond. That's a thing. Sorry, that's just a thing. And most bonds are around $70,000 to $75,000 minimum for a police officer. If you guys don't know, they go all the way up to if the chief of police or commissioner or somebody like that has a bond, it can go up to $200,000, $300,000. So right here, this lets you know all the laws or the laws in the state that tells you how to go about finding those bonds and doing what you need to do to capture those bonds. So right here, again, this is our way to get back at them. You place a lien on that bond. They can't work that day or they get a desk job. They get put on the desk until the claim is satisfied, meaning they have to do an investigation to make sure the insurance company does an investigation to see if the police officer violated your rights. While that investigation is going, that police officer cannot work. So that's just the way it goes. Excuse me, that's just the way it goes. Then y'all know the Cliff Notes. Oops. We got the Cliff Notes right here. Volume 1, Volume 2. Sit down every 30 minutes a day, every other day with your kids. Please arm your children with what they need to battle these police officers. Please. We got to get back. We got to arm our children. They're getting taken out. And so this is our only way to get back at them. We also, in the mix that's being produced right now, we also have U.S. law and government flashcards. That's right. To teach you about the government. So we got those coming. Those will be out in 2 weeks. And then you already know we got the crack scene religious exemption right here for when they try to implement the WHO tries to start to implement these pandeezes. Just so you know, just because the WHO will be in charge and implement those, we'll still be able to sue if the WHO implements something that's adverse to our Constitution. We can still do that. And the Constitution can still, or the courts can still rule, they can rule the agreement with the WHO unconstitutional. Just because they sign that shit doesn't mean it's in full effect. If they try to implement anything over here under that, just know you can sue that document that they signed because it's a private document. This is a document they signed with a private corporation with unelected officials. So believe there's going to be crazy lawsuits if some shit like that goes down. And the court can and definitely most likely will rule that unconstitutional. So you can absolutely fight back. So this right here, this lets your business know, lets a business that know that if they're trying to get, they want some cupcake proof or the crack scene proof that you need to be in there, or for you to work, you hand them this card and you let them know that they're liable under your religious exemption. All right. So you make them prove that you make them tell you that why religiously that you need to go against your religion to take an experimental crack scene cupcake that's already been proven to take out many people by the people who produce the cupcake. You let them know, like, oh, I got the document from the cupcake company on the experiments that it took out this many people. So you need to tell me, because you're going to be liable if something happens to me from you forcing me to take this cupcake. Because you have foreknowledge that there are adverse effects from the cupcake according to the cupcake company, to the bakery. So y'all get this shit right here, right? And then y'all know it'll come with the great book, the Alkaline Cookbook, so that we can get ourselves healthy. This is the only way to truly fight this bullshit. If you got a healthy immune system, ain't nothing can happen. Ain't nothing, excuse me, nothing that can take you down. You get it all for free. You order the great book of melanin research, realnagas.com. You order this for free. Now, the hard copy, a lot of you are ordering the digital copy and asking me for it. No, it's because the hard copy. Then you get the full complete package. I am not putting this in the package anymore. Not this. You guys, you only had till the 1st. So you want this, you have to go to knowyourrightsfoundation.org specifically to get the vaccine religious exemption card. Or if you just want the package without the great book of melanin research, which you should want this, because this is all the stuff that they know about you for the last 117 years. While your melanin is $511 a gram on the stock market, you need to know why you so goddamn expensive. Why the melanin, the markets that melanin use mostly is communications, film, and cosmetics. Just so y'all know. You niggas are important as hell. So right here, if you don't want this, just go to knowyourrightsfoundation.org and order the package. Also, for volunteers, we're getting so many volunteers. If we haven't gotten back to you yet, don't worry. We are getting back to everybody that we can. We do interviews every other week. So if you haven't gotten an interview yet, just hold on. We coming to get you. But also, if you're professionals, legal professionals, we need a lot of those people to volunteer. So if you're a law professional, please get over to Know Your Rights Foundation and hit us up with a volunteer, because we need to get as many people who know in the law as possible in this to create this foundation, this organization that will be able to ride in the future in a world that is only solely moved by organizations as vehicles. So let's build this vehicle up so that we can mash the fuck out, and let's mash out like we in Fast and the Furious. Let's do a Fast and the Furious mash with all the goddamn crazy shit, jumping off of mountains and you're going to space. Y'all seen the last one? Them niggas was in space and that shit. Let's mash out, damn it. Let's do the goddamn thing. Appreciate everybody for hitting the super chat. I love y'all, man. I'm going to talk to y'all next week. Don't take the cupcake, and y'all be good. Peace.